I'm just saying, if she ain't got a booty, I ain't trying to hit it.
You know a nigga's biggest weakness is a white girl with a fat ass.
These black girls need to watch out, because white girls is winning.
Nah, like a foreign bitch, you know, that Spanish, that Latin type.
Nah, like that Asian type.
Yeah, like a Oriental mixed bitch.
Daddy from the Philippines, mama from Atlantic, mama from Africa.
Mama from sugarcane and segregation, from too much pride and not enough perm.
Mama from the gutter, from Section 8, from hood rat black belly.
But she don't look like her mama, though. I don't fuck with black girls. I know 4 brands of hydrocortisone by heart. I have a Pinterest board dedicated to lemon juice recipes for lightening skin.
No, too dark is the answer to a question I've given up asking.
Puerto Rican,
Italian,
Bayesian,
Thai.
I know they want me to be everything I'm not.
I need a girl who knows her place. I don't like that black power shit, that nappy afro shit, that walk out your house like your mama ain't teach you how to look presentable shit. To be woman and black is to be born knowing your beauty does not belong to you.
Is to be the first and last person to love yourself.
Is to know you're not desirable to your own kind.
I grew up learning how to protect men who hate me.
Learned how to be the silencer to their pistol.
Learned how to be the revolution spit shining their spines. Behind every great man is the woman who taught him how to load the ammunition.
Behind every great man is the woman who pulled the trigger. Behind every great man is a chorus of voices buried beneath the gunfire. I want an educated woman. I'm not talking book smart. I'm talking sheet smart. A woman who understands the actual purpose of her mouth. In college, a boy said he didn't date black girls.
Like his mama wasn't a black girl.
Like his sister wasn't a black girl. Like he ain't drink milk and fat off a black nipple.
Like he wasn't birthed from a black womb.
Like a black woman's body ain't been for him.
Ain't spill herself to make room for him.
Like exiting a black woman's body ain't a blessing disguised as a shadow.
Like black ain't beautiful unless it's mixed.
To be woman and black is to be magic.
Is to be the witch that wouldn't burn.
Is to survive the white men with their needles and nooses.
And the black men with their hearts in their knuckles.
To be black and woman and alive is to be resilient. My very existence is defiance. But they want a good woman. A silk-skinned woman soft enough to break.
A woman whose vein is blue enough to get into the club. Who knows her way around the inside of a washing machine.
Who's the color of happily ever after. A woman who knows how to burn off her skin without screaming, without making a sound.
Hey, how are you today? Or if you're listening to my voice right now, you just heard or saw the video that I saw. I think I saw it yesterday for the first time. I wanted to get to that yesterday. I didn't have time for it. But here I am today. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this video was just completely garbage or the poem didn't make any points at all. For anybody who just may have skipped forward or anything, this poem I think was called To Be Black and To Be Woman, or To Be Woman and To Be Black. And what they're really addressing is, well, some people would say black men who hate black women or don't want to date black women. Now, I first came across this video via Facebook. A young man posted it on Facebook. We'll put the link up. I clicked it, went to the Huffington Post, saw the video. I was just like, oh, shit, it's one of those type of things. But it's in poetry form. But also, it's been shared all over on Twitter. There are so many things on it. I don't know why this is such a big deal. It's just the same shit that we've heard before, just in a different form. I don't think I've heard this in poetry form before. But since this is the latest that I've seen, I'm going to address it. and I'm going to try to be fair with this. One of the lines in the video that just really irked me is where they say he doesn't date black girls, as if his mama isn't a black girl, or his sister isn't a black girl, or any of the women in his family are black girls. They're like he's never sucked off a black nipple, a black woman's body has never bent over for him. Well, I've heard this before, but these same black women who say this, because it's only black women saying it, these same black women who say this, when it's a black woman saying they won't date a black man, they don't have anything to say. That's one of the biggest things that really irks me about videos like this. Is it only goes one way. You can't you can't have it like that. You can't just say, well, we can say it, but you can't say it. Or we can date out our race, but you can't date out your race. Why don't you just grow up and just let black men do what they want? I mean, there's plenty of black women that say they don't date black men. There's the chicks from Beyond Black and White and so many other stuff, and they just trash black men all the time. There's a fucking Twitter account called I Hate Black Men, and it has plenty of followers, and it just keeps going on and on and on. Another thing about them saying well, like his mother isn't black and his sisters ain't black. Was he really gonna fuck his mother and sister though? Well, actually, some there are some guys who might, but typically, just saying, like he's not really. Is the guy really gonna fuck the guy from college? Is he really gonna fuck his mom and his sister, or his mom or his sister? Why are you comparing yourselves to this man's family members? You want him to fuck his family members? Just saying. And another thing is, yeah, you talked about mixed chicks, but don't black women typically like mixed men and white men? And don't you sometimes think mixed women look better than black women? I'm just saying. I know Wanda Sykes is a black woman, but she's a lesbian, dating a white woman. Do y'all black women have a problem with that? I'm just saying. I'm just curious. Another thing in there I heard in there is your beauty does not belong to you. Well, if your beauty doesn't belong to you, then who the hell does it belong to? And you said that you have to be the first and last person to love yourself. I think everyone should be the first person to love themselves, and it should be the last one. I mean, you still want other people to love you, but I'm just saying, like, you can't have somebody else love you before you. Well, I guess you could, but you should love yourself first. Just saying. Maybe somebody else disagrees with me, but that's just how I feel. And if black women are not desirable to black men, dude, you gotta explain something to me. You gotta explain to me how I think about 90%, it's about 88, 89, really close to 90% of black men that are married to black women. And you also have to tell me how most black men are dating black women. Is how most black men are dating black women. And how come there are so many black men in a sense? You got to explain that to me. I can't understand it. I mean, if you're going to say that you're not desirable to them, then you got to explain it. You got to explain those things to me. It wouldn't make any sense for those things to be true. It just wouldn't. Tell you something else. Behind every great man is himself. I'm sorry. Like, wait a minute. You can sit here and say, like, maybe his mama has some influence on him, but, like, what happened to daddy's influence? Most men who achieved something great had their father's influence. Just saying. Or sometimes it's not their father, it's some other man. Just want to put it out there. If you know 4 brands of hydrocortisone by heart and all these recipes for lemon juice that lighten skin, is that your thing or is that somebody else's? Or is that a black man's thing or any man's thing? Or is that yours? And one of the lines in there towards the end, you said you got to defend yourself against the white man with his nooses and needles, and the black man against with his hearts and his knuckles. I got to tell you, are you really this is my personal opinion. This is no one else's. Maybe somebody else shares this opinion, but this is me. It's my opinion. That all these two women did, is express their own insecurities because some black men, because it can't be all black men. Some black men don't want to date them because apparently they're black, or maybe it's because not just because they're black, but because they're dark skinned. And second, you made black men look like your enemies with that line at the end. Well, actually with the whole thing, but especially at the end where you said you got to defend yourself against black men with their hearts and their knuckles. That's just mine. What is everybody else's take? Remember, don't try not to be so insecure and not to project your insecurities on other people. And just be good people. I'll talk more about this or something like this at another time. The power is yours.